Hey guys, Raj Sanga of Car Security, welcome back to the channel. Yes, another Ferrari Testarossa. On the back of doing Merlin's Testarossa early in the year, that's Merlin from Duke of London, we've had another 5 come in. But this one's a little special. So why is this one special? Well, firstly, it belongs to a friend of mine. He has an amazing collection of cars. If you don't follow Nick Singh Sahara, his details are on the screen. Go on Instagram, tap follow. What an insane collection of cars. This is just one of his Ferraris. So what makes this special over other Testarossas? Well, firstly, it's a Koenig special edition. So you've got a different front lip. Obviously, the wheels are totally different, and it's sitting quite a bit lower than a standard Testarossa. On the back, you've got this humongous wing. Wow, look at the size of it. And then you come around the back, you've got these exhaust pipes which look menacing. We will start it in a minute and blip that throttle, and then you get an idea of how naughty this car sounds. Now, what are we doing to this car? Well, we are doing the same audio install that we've done for the other 5 cars. So I'm not going to go in too deep in the audio install because that's been covered. If you've not watched that episode, if you click here or check in the description below, you can watch the full audio install that we did in Merlin's Testarossa early in the year. However, let me show you what's come out and what we're putting in. So the stereo wise, we had this old Pioneer single DIN CD tuner, which you got the sort of graphic display on there and so on. No DAB radio, no Bluetooth, it's quite old. Front speakers, 6.5-inch speakers, which are absolutely destroyed. You can see, you know, I'm surprised there was any sound coming out of those. You've got the original Ferrari crossovers there, married to the Ferrari tweeters, which are also shot. And in the back were these 3-way box type retro Kenwood speakers. They are pretty cool. Surface mount speakers, sort of proper period correct, sort of late 80s, early 90s. And there's also this Panasonic box of tricks. We think it's a toll device. So this is a Japanese car, so when you were going through all the toll booths and so on in Japan, there's a little card reader slot here, so maybe that was picking up those toll charges. So what we're putting in, well, same as what we've done before, the Blaupunkt Bremen SQR46 DAB. That is the go-to stereo for all these retro cars. We've got a JL Audio 3-channel amplifier that will be married with the front JBL club speakers, 6.5-inch with separate tweeter and separate crossover. And we've got the JL Audio 8-inch passive sub box, and obviously a JL Audio bass controller. I'm going to leave it in the hands of the engineers to install the product. It's fairly straightforward. And I'll be back, but when I come back, there'll be another Ferrari here. So what we're doing for Nick is we're going through 2 of his Ferraris. First, his Testarossa. When he comes to collect this, he's going to drop his F430 in for an audio upgrade. We've not covered an audio upgrade in a 430 on the channel, so we'll ensure that we'll cover that a little bit deeper and show you what comes out and all the products that are going in. So this is a dual Ferrari audio install. Now before I leave, let's start this one up and you can hear it. Right, that's enough of that. That's done my ears in. Okay guys, I'll be back when the 430 is here, and we'll have a chat with Nick then. See you in a bit. Right guys, the Testarossa is now done and one has become two. We've got Nick's 430 here, and in fact, Nick is here as well. Bring him into frame. How are we doing?
You good?
He's chosen the worst day of the year to pick up the Testarossa and to drop this. It's absolutely pissing it outside, but he's like, I don't care, I'm gonna drive the car anyway. So the install on the Testa's done. This is the first time Nick's going to hear the car. So we're actually gonna play a track for copyright reasons you will not hear, but you'll get his impression as it is. Excited?
Yeah, can't wait.
All right, let's go for it. So, first impression.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, a lot better than I expected even, really. I haven't ever heard sound in this car before because it's never had a stereo since I've had it that worked.
Well, to be fair, it's quite loud anyway.
Yeah.
The exhaust is quite loud.
I
So
never needed it because I never really used it, but I'm trying to use it more often now, so I wanted to put something in it.
yeah, it wasn't a challenge for us because we've done quite a few of these and we know how they sound, and this is the perfect setup here.
Yeah.
Without going silly in terms of budget. Okay, so Nick's had a good listen to the Testarossa. Happy?
Yeah, really happy. Really happy, yeah.
Now let's talk about the 430. What would you like in terms of audio on the 430?
If it could sound as good as that, I'd be happy. I'd be very happy, but obviously I don't expect it to be as easy because I haven't got any space. Like
Yeah,
behind the
we are
seats.
limited on space behind the passenger seat and the driver's seat.
We could push the passenger seat perhaps a little bit forward, but driver's seat, I need it all the way back.
Should be fairly straightforward. So yeah, Nick, leave it with us.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in a few days. Good man. Hey guys, audio install in Nick's 430 Spider is now all done. Nick's requirements were a subtle audio upgrade, some top-end quality, some depth, because there was no bass whatsoever, and he wants to be able to hear the music when the roof is down. This is a Spider. Now obviously some of you might question, why do you need to do an audio upgrade when you've got this V8 right behind you? Well, Nick likes his music and he likes his cars, so he wants the best of both worlds. So right, let me show you the equipment that we've removed out of the 430 and all the new products that have been installed. Right, the stock speakers in the front doors had already been replaced. So where you would find the 6.5 inch mid-range speakers, somebody had replaced them with these Pioneer 3-way jobbies. They're okay, I suppose. And there was only one tweeter, so don't know where the other tweeter is. And there was also a Kenwood Mechless DAB radio stereo that had been installed in the 430 previously. To be fair, this stereo does the job. There's nothing wrong with it. The only issue was it's only got one RCA pre-out, and we need something with two RCA pre-outs. So Nick can use that in one of his other cars. The new equipment that we've put in. So we've replaced the Kenwood Mechless stereo with a newer model, Bluetooth streaming, DAB, USB on the front, but this has two RCA pre-outs, and we need the two RCA pre-outs for the 4-channel amplifier. That's running the front speakers and the subwoofers, two subwoofers. We've also got the Audison bass controller, just so that allows you to give that adjustment in the front of the cabin if you want more bass or less bass. Front components, we've gone for these Audison APK 165P. So you've got 6.5 inch mid-range speakers, two tweeters, and the crossovers as well. These are absolutely awesome. And then we have two 8-inch woofers. So now let me show you everything in situ. Now, one of Nick's requests, and I suppose every Ferrari owner will be the same, he didn't want anything butchered inside the car, which I totally agree with. So the stock speakers were here and the tweeters are here. They've been removed. The new Audisons have been replaced in the same slots. So you can't actually see them. The original grills are still in place, including on the tweeters. The amplifier settings and adjustments are all on the top of the amplifier, so it's easy access. Tweaked that already. So it's just a simple process of pushing the carpet back into place. There are two screws that lock that in. Now you can't see the amplifier and it stops anybody else playing with all the settings. Now, let me show you the subwoofers. So as you can see, we've had to make a custom enclosure for those two 8-inch woofers. We would have preferred to just take something off the shelf, passive enclosure. However, space limitations, more so because it's a Spider, we couldn't use one of those boxes. And also, Nick's a fairly tall guy. His seat is pushed all the way back and it's reclined all the way back as well. So it was impossible to use one of those passive enclosures. So the custom enclosure sits nicely snug behind both seats and still allows Nick to be seated in his driving position. Okay guys, I'm gonna jump in and I'll give you my first impressions. Guys, I am blown away. The stock system was poor, as you can imagine. With the new front Audison components, you've got that top end clarity from the tweeters. There's some nice mid bass as well, really quality mid bass, punchy. And the subs, they give that depth which this car lacked. I am super impressed with this setup. I believe that this setup will exceed Nick's expectations because I am very impressed. And you got to remember guys, it's just a set of front components, two 8-inch passive subs in an enclosure. Wow, sounds fantastic. Right guys, the audio setup in the 430, exactly as you see, will be about £2,500 supplied and installed, and that would also include the custom enclosure. For the Testarossa, roughly about the same, about 2,600, I think it was a little bit more, and that's got that custom box from JL Audio. So that gives you a rough idea. So that's equipment supplied and installed. So guys, if you don't already follow Nick, his details are on the screen, at Nick Singh Sahota. Make sure you give him a follow. At some point in 2023, we'll head over to Nick's place in Southampton and show you his amazing collection of cars, number plates, and motorbikes. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed this episode showing you two audio installs on a classic Ferrari and on a modern classic Ferrari. As always, any questions or any comments you have, drop them down below. Our contact details are also in the description. Make sure you smash that like button and share our content, and make sure you've obviously subscribed to the channel. There's a lot more content that we have filmed. It's going to be edited and it'll be on our channel very soon. I'll see you on another episode on CAS TV.